Plaintiff Arthur Moon dated the defendant, and he claims she constantly accused him of cheating, even though she's the one who would stay out until 4 in the morning. Arthur suing because he claims after an argument the defendant vandalized his car and sprayed him with mace. Defendant Levitra McKissick insists Arthur is a womanizer, and she even put a tracker on his phone and caught him at his ex's house. Levitra insists the argument in question was instigated by Arthur's daughter, and she's countersuing for breach of contract.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Judge, I was here in 2002 with the ex over car damage.
And this is an X over car damage.
It was over car damage, yeah. So now I'm back again, suing my ex.
Where you from?
Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Fort Wayne, you got to be the biggest fool in Fort Wayne. Go ahead. Go back here for the same thing, for the same problem. Go ahead, sir. Did you win that time?
No, I didn't.
Playing the law of averages. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right.
So I've been knowing Levitra since grade school, and we was cool then. So we decided to get into a relationship last September. She was jealous, insecure. She would accuse me of cheating. She would stay out 4 o'clock in the morning and not answering the phone and accuse me of doing stuff.
How long would you be out without answering the phone?
I don't even go out. I stay at home and wait on her.
I'm gonna leave you alone. No wonder you lost the first time. Moving on to her already. Ma'am, why do you think he's cheating?
Because I have several text messages, which I have on video.
That shows him cheating, that talks about him cheating. Evidence that he's cheating, or just you accusing him?
He's a womanizer.
You have evidence, or you're just accusing him?
I have evidence.
She's accusing.
I have evidence. I have evidence that's on video.
Did he come home at 4 a.m. like you?
I've never stepped out.
Who beat who home in the mornings?
He is lying.
You get there at 3, you get there at 4, or you get there at 3 and he get there at 4?
I'm not even a cheater.
She stay out with her friends.
I'm never a cheater, and my friends will tell you.
What clubs are open at 4? You go to after-hour joints? I don't even think they have any after-hour joints in Fort Wayne.
It's a pandemic. Ain't nobody going out.
All right, sir. Give me some more background on you all and why you broke up. She said you're the cheater. She gonna prove it. She said she has never stayed out until 4 a.m. Now, go ahead. What else you want me to know?
Okay, so
did you all fuss a lot? What?
Her and my daughter got into a verbal altercation on July 17th, earlier that day. It started off as a verbal altercation between them two. And it ended up in a push and shove kind of match where I jumped into it to stop it from going any further. And so later on that day, that's why I assumed that she got mad, and that's why she came over to my house, to my sister's house, and flattened my tires and sprayed me with mace. And I got a video on page 1.
First of all,
I got a video.
All right, let me back you up a little. You all didn't live together?
Not at the time. Not at this time.
All right. And do you know what started the altercation between her and
it was Levitra interrogating my daughter over text messages, worrying about if I'm over my daughter's mom house and stuff like that. So
all right. So they got into a fight and you got your car messed up over your cheating.
No, I wasn't cheating.
So it doesn't pay for you to cheat. Let me hear from you, ma'am, about the incident or how it came to that with his daughter.
In May, he moved out randomly. May 15th, and he only paid $150 of May rent.
All right, was that before or after the incident?
This was way before the incident of July. So I'm ready to take you to July 7th. So May 15th, he cut out. We still was messing around, you know what I mean? Clearly, he sees something great within me. So we continued to mess around, and
he said everybody else did until 4 in the morning. Go ahead.
Right. So we go pick up his son. That's who we were going to pick up, his son, and just so happened his daughter was there at school as well. We were both shocked to see that his daughter is there because he knows that me and his daughter, we all have this rivalry thing going on. Because
about what?
Cheating. Because he was at his baby mama house one night, 5 to 6 hours, and he lied. And I put a navigation on him. I put an iPhone tracker on him, and I tracked his phone, and it led me right to his baby mama house. So I stood outside in my vehicle like I was supposed to. Well, really not supposed to, but I did it anyway. That's what
Let me ask you before you get to the specifics of the damages once again. And that is, what were you all falling out, you in particular, a grown woman, with his little baby about?
Infidelity, because
you would fall out with a little baby.
No,
over your man's infidelity.
Actually, the argument started between him and his daughter.
Right.
And she called him a chump, so he grabbed her by her neck and told her,
I want to know how you got
Right,
involved arguing with his little daughter.
Right, I'm sitting
a
in the car.
grown woman.
Right, and I'm sitting in the car, and she addresses me. I hadn't said nothing at this time. I'm in the car with my kids. I have that on video footage as well, how it all started.
How?
His daughter out of nowhere just got to calling me B's and H's and talking about she gonna bust me in my mouth, which I
Why
have
do you
right
think
here.
she was saying that?
Because he's going back and forth between the mama and me. And she felt some type of way, you know? I got 4 girls and a son. The family got jealous because they were seeing that he interacted with me and my girls, and you know, they wasn't paying him no mind, so we was. So then all of a sudden, when somebody else finally paid somebody's attention.
But on the other hand, you've admitted to you were beefing with his little daughter about, yes, you were, about his infidelity. You said that.
No,
you said that.
No,
you
I said
did.
she felt insecure.
No,
about
ma'am.
him
You
going back
said,
and forth.
I asked you, what were you falling out with his daughter about? And you pointed. His infidelity?
I said those words, but I didn't mean it in those words.
Let's get to you, sir. She told me she understands that she had a beef with your little daughter about your infidelity.
She had a problem with my daughter because my daughter...
How old is your daughter?
My daughter's 15 years old.
Mercy.
And my daughter didn't fall into her trap. My daughter didn't tell her...
What was your daughter falling out with her about?
Thank you, because that's the truth.
She interrogated my daughter. My daughter didn't tell them what she wanted to hear. And that was, obviously, he was over here.
Go ahead. They thought they could flip your own daughter against you, and they couldn't. Go ahead.
So they disrespected, started calling her out her names through texts and stuff. So that's why my daughter had something against her. So it was a verbal abuse. A verbal confrontation when I went to go pick my son and my daughter up July 7th.
Between who?
My daughter and Levitra.
But why?
What did you see? Or what is your understanding of what happened?
It was a verbal confrontation.
Why? Just because they saw each other?
Because they saw each other, and my daughter still had some frustration against her of them interrogating.
What did your daughter do? What's your understanding of what happened?
She said something to her. She was like, "Oh, what was that? What was that stuff that you was talking on a phone, saying you was gonna beat my?"
And what did the very grown woman do?
They had a verbal confrontation. I stepped into it before it got out of hand.
But why?
You tell me why.
His daughter didn't like the fact that I'm with her dad. That's what I meant to say. So she just didn't like that. So she got the disrespect of me calling me B's and H's.
How did you encounter her?
She put her hands on me.
Ma'am, how did you encounter her at the school?
We were in the car with him, and she was there.
She came to get into the car?
Yes.
And she got in the car, and they started arguing, and then it got quiet. Then she said, "Oh, so B, woo, 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 this, that, and the third."
You all in the car?
All in the car, and I got all that on video.
Go ahead.
I started video recording. She got to disrespecting me. I said, "Arthur, you need to get your child. Arthur, you need to get your child, because I'm not going to disrespect no child. This is a kid, you know? Get your kid." So before I know it, I'm popping the trunk to get me and my kids, a blind child, out the car to move on. This little girl ran up on me, attacked me. Arthur slammed me on the ground. I got
Is that what happened? Your daughter attacked her?
That's a lie. No.
What happened?
My daughter said something. It was still had a verbal conversation.
In the car? You didn't tell me they were all in the car together.
We was all in the car, Judge. And Vitra she did get out the car, got her stuff out the trunk because she wanted to get away.
Good, did what was right.
And so my daughter got out the car too, still talking crazy to her. And,
what did you say to your daughter?
I'm telling my daughter, "Shut up, Anna, shut up." But I can't. She's not. My daughter's not hearing me, and she's not hearing me. So they going back and forth. About maybe a couple minutes later, I got bum rushed. It was like,
by who?
My daughter ran behind me, and she was running towards me, and I was in between them. in between them. So before they can get to each other, I'm standing in between them. Before they start shuffling and pushing, some kids backed my daughter up, and I held Vitra and backed her up. So later on that night, she was mad and came over my sister's house late that night and flattened my tires and sprayed me with mace. And I got on page 1. I got a video.
Let me hear what she tells me first, ma'am.
I have video as well.
Tell me first what happened.
Of his daughter attacking me.
I heard that part.
And me defending myself, and I have threats of him.
Ma'am, tell me about what he said happened later on that night.
Oh, I have no idea because at
you
this
didn't
point,
flatten his tires
he got too many women. I got video of that.
I got a police report.
Did you talk to him at all later
2?
that?
No,
Sir,
I did not.
You never talked to him later that evening?
Nope. Once that was done, that was.
And you have a
wrap.
police report that indicates what?
I do.
That I called the police and made a police report that she came over.
You have that report? Do I have it as evidence?
Page 2, yes.
And did they interview her?
No, they didn't. They didn't catch her.
And you have a video that you say backs up what you're saying?
Yes.
Now let's see. What do you want to show me?
This is her car right here. She's parked in front of my car. Can you hear it?
See, she just makes me.
I can't see what car it is. I don't know what type of car she owns. Can't see or hear anything. Ma'am, you have a video of what happened that night?
I mean,
what is your video of?
My video is of his child assaulting me, and I just feel like that needs to be seen because today's children.
And where was he at that time?
He was right there.
Okay.
He did nothing to stop that little girl.
You have that? Let's get that together. Uh-oh, hers is pretty clear so far, Doc. You got a problem.
It was ugly for you, though.
Hers is really clear.
She's still mad. Still mad? Oh, I can't even believe you, dog. Let's go.
You're going to lose again over your car accident.
See, this is why.
This is where I'm standing with my children.
Because, see, I would put my child in their place. You're going to take sides? You're going to take sides and say she's still mad? Why would you bring me around this?
Y'all can't
Hey, I swear to God, I ain't going to nobody about nothing.
She's still mad at that because she didn't have nothing to do with it.
You let her do this to you.
God bless
her. God bless you. God bless you, Arthur. No, ain't no man. This is a kid. You dog head. This is a kid. This is a girl. You run up on me. You take this.
What's happening here, man?
I'm getting hit. I'm getting jumped by all three of them.
Ain't nobody getting
by the father. By now, I'm slammed on the ground.
What do you say the door?
I walked right into it before they start pushing and shoving.
Okay. And they never fought?
They never fought.
So when you walked in, what happened?
When I walked in between them, the football kids came and got my daughter and backed her up, and I grabbed her and walked her back to back her up.
And what is it you want me to show me? I did hear you giving credit to you, say that's why kids should stay in their place. You were trying to avoid going off, and that's what I expected of you.
Yes.
And you did do what I would expect a woman to do with a 15-year-old. So I did hear you do that. But what do you have you want to show?
I have this proof right here of my nail completely broken off, my elbow bruised up, my lip busted.
What page is that? Sir, you said they didn't.
She tripped and she
6, 7, and
fell.
8.
Tripped and fell.
She fell.
Okay.
You got that on video too?
How did I fall? If you would have grabbed
I was backing you up.
Your Honor, normally when you go to break up a fight, you grab the aggressor. You don't grab the person that's walking away.
Well,
I got grabbed and slammed on the ground.
Daughter, so I
my
grabbed
lip is busted.
So you wouldn't
My
run
lip
up.
is busted, and I did everything rightfully. I also pressed charges, and I'm waiting for.
Do you have any evidence other than that which I couldn't see or hear regarding the mace?
My police report. I have a police report, page 2.
What does it say? It says what you told them?
What I told them, yes.
Okay. And did they ever interview her?
They didn't catch her.
You know where she lived. They don't give up on the first drive.
Well,
that's not how police operate. They don't run around and then say, I don't see her. This case is over.
I told them her address.
Okay. And
they left after the situation.
I know, but a follow-up, sir. When you call the police and allege someone has assaulted you and has committed damage against your property, you usually follow up and say, hey, police, the woman that sprayed me. Remember, I called y'all. Gave you a police report. Told you where she lived.
And filed a
Give me an
restraining order.
update.
And filed a restraining order, page 10, which I followed up on that.
Want to watch it?
Okay, they tell me I have your video backstage. I'll be back shortly.
Stay seated. This court is back in session.
Come play it up here for me so I can just repeat it word for word. Okay. Or do I just push play?
What you gonna do? Put me on there.
What you gonna do? Put me on tape?
Did you spray me, right?
Yeah, B. Had your daughter for what your daughter did to me. Had her put her hands on me.
She just makes me, y'all.
I'm taping. Yeah, go ahead and tape. Please put it on video. And he did. Your claim is dismissed for perjury. Yours is granted. Have a good day. You finally won one in here.
Plaintiff Jasmine Brown says she and the defendant share the same father, but they have different mothers and they never had much of a relationship. Jasmine claims the defendant got caught up with the wrong crowd and had a baby at age 14. And Jasmine's suing her today for damaging her car. Defendant Dominica Brown says she's had a rough life and ran away a lot as a child. Dominica claims at age 12 she was gang raped and then started selling drugs to survive. And at age 17, she was beaten into prostitution by a man who she thought loved her. Dominica insists Jasmine told her she didn't have to pay for the car damages.
Start with you.
Okay, Dominica, she's my half sister. We have the same dad, but different moms. We never really had much of a relationship because she wasn't really around much. She was into hanging out with the wrong crowd, fighting a lot, and she was 14, she had a baby, and after that she just left, so we never really had a relationship until later down the line when I was about maybe 17 or 18.
And what was that like, your friendship or your relationship with your sister?
It was pretty good.
Okay, so it's the first problem you all had?
Yes.
All right, you want to give me some background?
Honestly, we never really had a relationship at all because her mom and my mom were best friends, and she wound up sleeping with my dad, which caused them to split.
Who slept with your dad?
Her mom.
Oh.
Wow. Which caused them to split, and when they split, my mom dropped me and my brother off on their doorstep at 12 when I was 12 years old. And then her mom pretty much said I couldn't stay there because I looked too much like my mom. So from then, it was an incident where I came in from school and she took my book bag, my homework, and threw it across the room, and she stepped on it. And when she stepped on it, I kind of took my book away, and she lied to tell my dad that I hit her. So my dad came in, he beat me, and I ran away. At 12 years old, I wound up getting gang raped. 3 blocks away from my grandma's house, trying to go to my grandma's house that same night. Then from there, it was just really, really crazy. I was in and out the home because it was chaotic and I couldn't stay, I couldn't take it. So I wound up running away in and out of the home, and then I wound up turning to the streets to sell drugs to survive at 12 and 13. I wound up getting pregnant at 14 and having my child. When I had my child, I want to say a month after I had her, it was an incident where I left and then I came back to get my child. I don't know who called the police, but the police was called, and I went into her parents' room to get my daughter out the bed, and her sister pushed me and my baby fell back on the bed. At the time, the police said that either I had to leave the home or she had to leave the home. So her mom wound up taking all of the kids and she left. And when she left, she called DCFS on me, and her and my dad got custody of my child. So I was never really there. I was always in and out. Then at 17, I wound up getting beat into prostitution by someone I thought loved me at the time. At first the relationship started off okay, but then it was it started to get abusive, and then I stayed because I felt like I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't have anybody. So I wound up staying, and then he wound up getting locked up is how I got out of that relationship at 17. When I ended that relationship is when I started to better myself. I went to school, I got my dental assistant, and I started with mortuary science. And I had started taking my GED test. I passed every test, but I was 10 points off on math. And when I went to send back in to retake the math part, I sent the paper in too late, so now I have to retake the whole thing. And then after that, I wound up moving to Michigan City, Indiana to make a better life for myself. And I wound up getting 3 jobs my first day out there. And I lived out there for over, I want to say, a year and a half. And I wound up coming to a situation where I became homeless because I was living with my best friend and she lost the apartment. So I wound up having to live in a hotel. And from the hotel, I wound up coming basically to my dad. And then right now, I live with my father now.
You live with your father?
Yes, I do. I live with my father now, and
Where's your child?
With my dad. So I'm back. I was in and out of my baby life then, but now I'm there 24/7.
Have you taken the GED again, or?
No, I'm actually sending out for it this week.
Because you sound very smart, well-spoken. Sound like you got a lot of great survival skills, having gone through what you went through, and you've overcome all that, and doesn't seem like it's destroyed your spirit. So you have a great life to look forward to.
And then, Your Honor, right now I actually work in a mini casino, and I just accepted a job offer yesterday for a warehouse.
All right, congratulations. So make sure you get that education. Perhaps you can go to school at night, perhaps starting out at a community college. You know, they have some community colleges where you can get a GED and credit toward college at the same time. So I would suggest you take a look there. Maybe you do that at night while you work full-time during the day, or if you work nights, do it during the day. So that's my advice to you, because I think you got a lot of potential. All right? All right. Why are you suing her today?
I'm suing her for car damages. On April 25th, she came to visit me in Chicago. We were hanging out, and she told me that she had a driver's test coming up, and she needed help with it. So I agreed to let her drive my car. And prior to that, she smoked weed, and
we were all smoking weed, Your Honor.
Hold on, not the man that grades you that sit up there in the car. No. Please tell me.
No. We were practicing. I was teaching her how to parallel park, so we weren't actually at the DMV.
Oh, okay.
We were in the parking lot.
Got it. All right. And see, I just saw today on the news that the states that have legal marijuana now, they have a higher percentage of accidents since the legalization. And that's because folks are driving under the influence. It's the same as alcohol. Whether it's legal, like alcohol's legal, whether you're taking it for medicinal purposes, that's legal. But don't take it before you drive. You don't take Vicodin before you drive. You don't take any of those prescribed legal drugs before. Just like you don't drink and drive. You don't take your medicine and drive. You don't smoke weed and drive. And what do you think of the car damages? Do you agree you should pay or not?
I did.
You did pay?
No, I started paying. I gave her $150 a week after it happened.
Okay.
And right after I wound up going in, I have a health issue, and I have my evidence right here that I just had surgery on June 6th to get my gallbladder removed.
Okay.
It was so bad. Yeah, it was just really bad. So then, I say June 3rd or whatever, we text, and Jasmine had forgave the damage. She forgave the
debt.
She forgave it. Yes, she did. She forgave the debt. Not true. And then after that, I thought it was over until I get the call.
So why do you think she's doing it today then, if she forgave
Honestly, I can't tell you. I honestly do not know. I'm trying to figure it out.
When she sued you, why didn't you call her and say, girl, you know you told me I didn't have to pay you this no more? You got me coming.
Honestly, we pretty much just ceased communication.
All right. And you say you did not forgive it?
No, I have messages on Facebook and text messages asking her when she's gonna pay me.
And what'd she say?
Basically,
just because you asked doesn't mean that.
She says, "Oh, I'm gonna pay you next week because I wasn't working," and then recently on I think it was June 3rd, I asked her when she was gonna pay me again, and she said that I could come pick up the money, and then I didn't hear from her. I was calling and texting her, and then she told me the day after that she got into a fight and she lost her card, and that's why she couldn't pay me.
This is as of May 4th. You still sending me that money? Some money, yeah. Gotta see what my check is tomorrow. June 1. You still giving me that money tomorrow? June 1, yeah.
Yeah.
I know you, wise from the street, got the game. I'm wise from the street, got the game and going with it. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I mean, it should get better now that this is out of the way. I mean, I still love her. She's my sister.
That's pretty much the same. Like, I'm glad it's over. That's my baby. That's my baby sister. Well, I would love to have a better relationship. Like, really, that's my little sister. I love her. I do. Come on, come give me love. Yeah, baby. I love her.
Plaintiff Virginia Baskerville says she's been seeing the defendant for 4 years, and it's been nothing but drama. Virginia claims after the defendant saw a text from her ex-boyfriend, he smacked her and destroyed her property, so she's suing. Defendant Leonard Stansell says on the day in question, Virginia's ex sent her a text message asking her to send him naked pictures of herself. So Leonard got angry. Leonard claims Virginia destroyed his property first by setting 2 of his suitcases on fire, so he's countersuing.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. May now be seated.
Start with you.
Well, I've been messing with seeing Leonard for almost 4 years. I'm currently pregnant right now with his son. It's been nothing but drama since we started talking, fighting with his ex-girlfriends and other.
For 4 years?
4 years, whole 4 years.
Not the whole 4 years, and that was their issues. They couldn't get stuff situated between themselves.
The whole 4 years.
Okay.
I accused him of cheating because she's been bothering us since we've been talking. Well, you all stay in the same complex anyway. So he stayed with her, and when I moved down there, he was still staying with her and was coming to see me. Then she put him out and he came to live with me. But when he came to live with me, she was still bothering us. So I accused him of cheating because we're going to keep going crazy if you ain't, keep messing with her, entertaining her some type of way.
Because we was in the same complex and that she didn't like you too much.
And so he accused me of cheating with my ex. And he went through my phone and found some texts. We real cool. So we have a nice relationship. We ain't cool like that, though.
They cool like
and
that.
And he asked me for naked pictures.
Who asked you for naked pictures?
My ex. Because he didn't like him anyway. He does what he wants. And he gets mad at me for stuff that he does.
I get mad.
You have to have some type of...
It wasn't no type of nothing like that.
Okay.
So
if you want to believe that, that's fine.
Exactly, right?
Go ahead.
I would ignore him. But, since I wasn't texting back like, nah, you ain't getting no pictures, I was just simply ignoring. I guess since he thought I was ignoring it, I was sending him pictures. Mm-hmm. So he got temperamental and mad, and we started fighting. Okay,
let me get some background from you, and then we'll get into the specifics.
Yeah, that's basically the whole point of our relationship is this ex stuff. Like, my ex, she don't really like her because she feel like she came between our relationship or whatever the case may be. But that was a down relationship anyway. So she would do stuff like take my phone off the charger when I ain't paying attention to it, or text her off my phone, or FaceTime, or say stupid stuff to each other, you know what I mean? And I would just tell her, like, you already won the battle, you got me, what did you even mad for, whatever. So I had came across text messages and stuff like she said, he be calling her baby this and baby that, and like,
does he?
If you're in a relationship,
ma'am, does he?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Like, if you're in a relationship, you're supposed to put an end to that. I'm not your baby, but what's going on? Like,
certainly in the offering naked pictures.
And then naked pictures, right? Like, she didn't say, no, I'm not sending you a naked picture. She didn't say nothing. Like, did you send the pictures and just delete it? Or
I ignored it, though.
What did you say? Oh, you just ignored it?
That's what the main thing is.
All right, so what happened?
Well, I guess, like I said, I guess he thought I was sending naked pictures or cheating, even though we all in a whole nother city. Mm-hmm. And he got mad, and we started fighting, and he smacked me.
Okay. You say you started fighting, you mean verbally?
Well, arguing. Yeah, we started arguing, and he smacked me.
It was not a smack. It was like a
It was a smack.
Okay.
It was a smack.
All right.
So, I was having a little moment, waiting to exhale moment. And I went outside with his suitcase, and I set the suitcase on fire.
Okay. Why didn't you call the police? Or go and file a police report?
Because, I don't know. I ain't want to go through all that. I ain't want to do it.
Okay. What did he do to your property?
He poured water and oil on some speakers I had just got.
It wasn't the speakers, it was the stereo. The speakers was not that.
How did the incident end?
The incident ended in he getting out.
Okay, you burned his things and he just walked out?
No, he came in and we started arguing again, and he poured the oil and the water on the stereo and the speakers. He poked holes and cut up my mattress, and then he took a hammer and banged my TV.
Okay, you have the property that you're suing him for?
I have, yeah.
The list?
Yeah.
Sir, let me hear from you.
We were arguing or whatever, and I had muffed her, and I snatched her phone and I left.
Muffed her
Yeah, like, you know, like a muff is like
He
when
smacked me. That's not a muff.
A muff is like when you take the hand, just like
right,
thresh it a little bit. I mean, I probably muffed her a little too hard, but I wasn't expecting, you know what I mean, for her to go off and do all of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we were just arguing.
There's certainly in the reason, no defense to putting your hands on her, period.
Yeah, like it was kind of hard. Like I was a little emotional. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason why I did it, probably. But
he ever hit you before?
No.
Okay, good.
But I had came back with one of my friends a little later on, probably like an hour later, and I guess she must have just came from the store up the street getting some vegetable oil. You know, because the guy in the store told me like, yeah, some girl came in here was mad talking about setting her boyfriend's stuff on fire. So I instantly got back in the car and went to the house. I was only probably like 3 or 4 blocks away. And once I got like a block and a half away, you can see the little orange and stuff coming off of stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's ricocheting off of the buildings and everything. So my friend was like, man, somebody's stuff on fire. The whole time I didn't tell him what was going on at all. You know, he was just chauffeuring me around. I was like, man, like my suitcases. So he was like, you lying. So we pulled right up. And both of my suitcases out there, but only one of them set on fire. She tried to, like, you can see the burn holes in the other one where she tried to start it, but I guess she couldn't get it started for some reason. So I snatched the suitcase to the side of the building and left the other one that was on fire right there, because it was blazing by this time. So I had walked back in the house and I knocked on the door and I disguised my voice a little bit. She was like, who is it? I was like, the police. Like, you know, so she opened the door. You know, and I came right in like, you burning my stuff? And, you know, she was just trying to tell me like she don't want to be with me anymore and just leave. And I stopped even thinking about my stuff being burned for a second. Like, leave, hold on, you doing all of this over what? Like, you mad at me because he sending you stuff?
Because you smacked me.
It wasn't even a smack, it was like a muff.
It was a smack.
But you mad at me because he's sending you stuff and you can't control your baby daddy, or you can't even stand up and be like,
some
hey.
ladies, that's the limit, sir. Putting your hands on them the first time, no matter how slight. So I don't know what part you didn't understand.
I mean, she put her hands on me plenty of times. I ain't never got up and said I'm finna leave. You know what I mean? Like, and she didn't hit me, not no muff. Like, you know what I mean? So a little muff, like you tripping over a muff. Like, I didn't understand the logic, but at the same time, I was thinking more about the relationship part. Like, I didn't want to lose her because I care about her or whatever, you know?
What'd you do?
Well, you know, she was, you know, just so focused on me leaving. I was just thinking like, dang, well, I ain't even leaving with much. I came in with 2 suitcases, you know what I mean? Like,
what'd you do?
I had,
to her property.
I went in the kitchen and, you know, I got a pot of water and it had a little grease in it a little bit. I wasn't paying attention to that, but I was just dangling it. I was trying to threaten her. Like, I was dangling over that stuff, trying to get her to talk to me. You know what I mean? And she ain't want to try, so I just poured it in there like, well, I ain't finna leave without, you know.
You didn't have anything else to burn. You still messing with the woman. Now you just come back destroying her property.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir. So
I had my other suitcase on the side of the building, so it was kind of protected. So
you're talking about you getting burned.
Yeah. So I had after that, I felt like that wasn't enough because she's just gonna let that air dry. It's gonna be all right. But I didn't know that it had grease in the pot.
Okay. Sound system, you destroyed that?
Yeah, not the speakers though. I tried to hit
television.
The television, that was an accident.
The mattress.
The mattress, it just had a couple pokes in it.
No, he said he didn't want to leave with another person laying in the bed, so he was going to put holes in it and mess it up.
All right, so tell me what you're suing her about.
Well, the suitcase that she burned, when I went through and seen what I did and didn't have, I was missing like 3 pair of shoes. I was missing so many pair of pants and work shirts, like my Xbox that I was going to get to.
It wasn't no shoes in there.
It was shoes in there.
Go ahead, sir, talk to me.
It was shoes in the bag that she decided to put with the fire. With pictures. I had a whole packed suitcase because we had been arguing previously. And I was just...
Estimate how much?
$2,000.
How many pair of shoes?
It was like 3 or 4 pair of shoes.
What type?
Jordans. That's all I be wearing. And I had some casual dress shoes in there too as well. Like, that stuff not cheap.
$3,498. He agrees that he damaged your property and that he muffed you. That's the emotional distress part. And, sir, I'm going to grant you your $2,000. She acknowledges damaging your property as well. Have a good day. That's my judgment.
I mean, I would love for us to be able to, you know, come through and, like, just get rid of all this little X stuff and work on us, you know? Like, I do love you.
I love him too, but you know that John, I ain't got time for it.
Plaintiff Elizabeth Skrypick and her daughter Danielle say they're in court today because the defendant is convinced that Danielle is having an affair with her husband, which couldn't be further from the truth. As a result of her suspicions, Elizabeth claims the defendant vandalized Danielle's home, which Elizabeth owns, so she's suing. Defendant Courtney Crandall insists both Danielle and her husband confirmed that they had sex one time, and then Danielle claimed he impregnated her. Courtney says it's impossible that she vandalized anyone's home because at the time of the crime, she was filing a police report because she believes Danielle slashed her tires.
Start with you.
We are here today because the defendant, Courtney, believed that her husband, Shane, and my daughter, Danielle, were having an affair, which in fact was not true.
How do you know?
Well, I'll tell you how I know is because I own the home she lives in. I come and go frequently. I have 4 grandchildren over there that I help watch while my daughter works full-time. I've seen Shane there. I've known Shane for many, many years. I never really approved of their friendship, but nevertheless, she's an adult.
Why?
He's trouble. He's trouble.
Also,
wherever he goes, trouble follows.
In what way?
Oh, he's a substance abuser, can't hold a job, in and out of jail.
Okay.
Has kids by a few different girls.
Didn't
not a real
want them
good...
to be platonic friends?
No, I did not. And I've been in and out of the house. I've seen Shane there, never once.
Yeah, but you haven't been with her 24 hours. So you don't know what she sneaks off and does. Yeah.
Well,
Most
I
people
think
don't tell their mother, Mom, I'm having an affair with a married man. They typically don't. In fact, they usually try and hide it.
You're right.
And unless you're with them 24/7, you'll never know.
You're right.
You could do a lot in 2 minutes.
That's a good point. You can. No, I can't.
You're not.
I can't. You can. All right, ma'am. Was she having an affair with your husband to your knowledge?
Absolutely. She's the
how
one
do
who
you
told
know?
me.
How do
she
you
told
know?
me on the phone.
Oh.
She told me on the phone. And I just want to say...
Give me some background on
for
it.
somebody that's not sleeping with somebody, why are you going to go and pay $500 to bail them out of jail when their own wife wouldn't? Because he wasn't paying his child support. He needed to be in jail. She went and gave him the $500.
What gave you the initial impression that they were having an affair?
They were supposed to be just friends. And, you know, you hear things, and it's a very small town that they live in. And I would ask and ask and ask and ask, and then finally Danielle admitted it was a one-time thing. It shouldn't have happened. We were just friends, and, you know, it happened. But the reason
what did your husband say?
My husband said, yes, it happened. I'm very sorry, and I would never do it again. It was like throwing a hot dog down the hallway.
And you say...
And those words came from his mouth.
Go ahead.
You know, she as far as I know, I don't know too much about Beth, except for the fact that she is an alcoholic herself, has substance abuse problems. They're both, what I hear, Sue happy. Danielle went around after she admitted to me having an affair with my husband, said that she got pregnant by him, wanted to sue me and Shane for having to get an abortion. She wanted the money back.
All right. Ma'am?
First of all, it is a very small town that we live in, and that is nonsense.
What's nonsense? You didn't have an affair?
Any of what she has said. No. First of all, there was no affair, no sexual relationship whatsoever. Second of all, I was never pregnant by her husband, nor did I plan on suing her for an abortion that you can't have when you're not pregnant.
Why do you think people believed that to be the case?
Because I didn't give up on him. Because he has children that I care about, and I thought that if I continued to be his friend, that he could be a better person and he could be a better father. They together have burned every bridge that is available. This has been going on since...
How often would you see him?
Every time he'd get drunk, she'd kick him out and he'd come over.
How often would you see him?
Probably 4 times a week. He'd stay at her house.
No.
How many times a week would you see him?
He would be over probably 2 or 3 times a week.
2 or 3 times a week he'd be over.
He gets drunk. She kicks him out of the house. He comes. Like she said, we live in a very small town. His aunts, his cousin, his grandmother, everybody lives there. So he comes into the town. I am across the street from his cousin's house. When I say that he's at my house 2 or 3 times a week, he's at his cousin's house. He stops over. He left a few things at my house now and again because she doesn't let him in the house.
Things like what?
T-shirts.
Clothes.
Absolutely. Look, I know that sounds terrible, but okay. She kicks him out and he has no other place to go. Like I said, as a friend,
all he has to go to is you.
No.
No, there's others.
Well, you
There are
said
other
he
people.
doesn't have any place to go. When you say
The
that,
town.
what do you mean?
I mean the town that we live in.
Sounds a little fishy to me. I'll just be honest.
I was just trying to be a friend, and you're right, it does sound fishy, and I'm sorry that I put myself in that position, but
all right.
It was platonic.
All right. So what do you want to tell me about the lawsuit, the windows? What are we saying here?
Well, I do have to say one other thing, Your Honor. It's sort of strange that she is accusing her husband of having an affair when in fact she had a boyfriend the whole time who in fact was John Wayne Bobbitt's brother, and this is the kind of company she keeps. So she's not so innocent. And I know my daughter. I know her very well. She is the mother of 4 beautiful children. She's a good person. Sometimes her heart's too big. I asked her, please, wherever he goes, he brings trouble. Don't help him. But Mom, he's got kids. I understand what it's like to have children. I'm trying to help. This girl knows no boundaries.
Why do you think she felt the need to help him so much? Out of all the people in the town.
Because he's okay, let me explain.
He's
is
the only
a
one
user.
needing help in the town.
He's a user.
I know, all that is fine. He's a user, he's this, he's that, and the other. My question was, why do you think your daughter felt the need to help him? Why was she so loyal and committed to helping him?
Because she's a good person.
All right, so does she help everybody
Yes,
like that?
absolutely.
The whole town?
Well, anybody
Give me
that
an
comes-
example. Give me an example.
Anybody that comes
No,
in-
not anybody. Give me a specific example.
Oh, a friend of her husband's out in Colorado. They were in the service. He and his wife were having some problems. He came and stayed at her house. He left clothes at her house. Her husband has been gone back and forth. Her husband was there.
Are there any other examples? Because that's not a virtue. It's a pattern.
Well,
It's
she
a
has
pattern of
patterns.
having women's husbands
No pattern
bring
of having
over.
women's husbands.
She's done it twice. And you haven't given me any other examples.
No,
Give me an example.
The man I was explaining about, an example was a friend of her husband's.
I understand.
Okay, so she's just a
Somebody
kind
else's
person.
husband.
Yeah.
Let's get to the windows.
Well, I'm going to let Danielle explain that.
The weekend of December 30th, she had kicked him out of the house because he was drunk. He had his children. He went over to a woman he calls Aunt Billy. She is a cousin, I believe, of his. She lives around the corner. He was staying there. He showed up at my house Sunday, drunk, with his kids. I didn't want him around the kids drunk, just him and the kids drunk, so I threw them all in the car and took them to the reservoir sledding. That day, I left my phone in the car. We were gone for just a few hours. She called about 150 times. I didn't have the phone. When I got back to the house,
Quiet, ma'am.
on the way back, I dropped him off at his grandmother's house. And I went home to my house where I found 9 broken windows. Also, her sunglasses in my driveway. I called the police. There were threatening text messages as well. That's also in the police report.
Okay, would you like to see the police report?
Yeah.
Okay. And the pictures?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ma'am, did you threaten to break the windows out?
No, I did not.
Okay, and ma'am, you say you had a text message?
Yes, and there's also a voicemail.
Let's go to that.
Sunday, December 30th at 1:55 p.m. from
Courtney, tell that to answer the phone. I'm going to your house on my flat tires. I'm smashing your windows out and I'll burn your house down.
And burn the house down.
All right. Sounds like, ma'am, that you're accusing her of cutting some tires and this is your threat to retaliate. You tell me.
First of all, that doesn't even sound like my voice.
Yes,
that
it does.
I did sound like I did leave a message on Danielle's voicemail, but I knew where they were. I knew they were sledding at the reservoir.
What was
Danielle
the
says her
message?
phone was in the car.
Did you threaten her on that
I talked to my
message?
husband. In the message that I left, yes, I did, but not to break out the windows.
What did you threaten to do?
I told her, if I have to come and find you, it ain't gonna be pretty. I said, I know you're sledding at the reservoir with my husband. This right here, I believe is the same copy that they have, but I also have a police report of a police officer that was sitting in my house because I had to report my tire slash, which I also have pictures of if you want to see the pictures of the tires.
So what are you saying? Hold on. What are you saying about the police report, you sitting there? What are you saying?
I was sitting in my kitchen while she claims that I broke her windows.
Okay, you knew the exact time that she broke the windows?
No, I just have the time period between the voicemail and the police report.
And what time period was that
home.
from?
The voicemail is at 1:55 p.m. and I called the police and I believe it's 2. It's on the police report what time I had called the police.
Okay.
I was at my house. I couldn't leave. I couldn't go anywhere. I had flat tires.
Ma'am, talking to the police?
Yes.
How long?
He was here at 2:40, and he didn't leave until a good hour later. I don't know if the time that he left is on there.
So
but I also...
it could have happened between 1:55 and 2:40.
I have a witness that was at my house at 1 o'clock.
Okay, read it.
This witness says, I, Brett Byro, was called by Courtney Hescox on December 30th around 1 p.m. She was very upset, stating her husband Shane Hescox and Danielle Smith had slashed her tires. I went right over to her residence. While I was there trying to get the spare tire off, which was rusted underneath, I witnessed several phone calls back and forth between Courtney and Danielle. I knew it was Danielle because I heard Courtney yell, Danielle, stop hanging up. I just want to speak with Shane. I was there for a good hour trying to get the spare tire off. Courtney was crying and saying that she had no way to get around. Courtney did not leave her home and was there the entire time, and I was leaving as a city cop was arriving to speak with her about the tire.
All right. So let me just ask you about the voicemail. You deny that was you?
I did not.
The voicemail I just heard, you said that wasn't you?
No, that was not me.
All right.
I'm not going to say I didn't leave a nasty voicemail.
No, I'm referring to the one I just heard.
Yeah, no.
That wasn't you?
No.
All right. I don't believe you. I believe it was.
Okay.
Judgment for the plaintiff. All right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You got your husband under control now?
He's in jail.
Oh, okay. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Thank you. You didn't do anything wrong. And you need to grow up, little girl, and take responsibility for your actions.
And Danielle needs to stop stalking my husband.
And stay away from my grandkids, my property, and my children.
In what world was he ever gonna leave me for that? Just remember that.
Stay away from my husband. Because she has class. You don't. You're white.
Class or rash, she's got it. I don't want anything to happen except for her to stop stalking my husband.
He's in jail.
And you have a restraining order against him.
Keep him away from my family. Please.
You're gonna believe whatever you want to believe because she's
Well, you're a liar, and you just told a lot of lies about me, little girl, that I don't know where you got them from.
You know, I tried to be a good friend. I tried to do what I thought was right. Obviously,
She tried to
it was
sleep
not
with my
right.
husband. That's a good friend.
Please, who would want
Tattoos
him?
on the neck saying "blow up the world." You know, I don't need that.
Not her type. Not her type.
Plaintiff Kimberly Flint says the defendant is her daughter, and she was always a good kid until Kimberly and the defendant's father divorced. Kimberly says the defendant started fighting at school, and Kimberly ended up sending her to boot camp. Kimberly's suing her today for car damages. Defendant Kyler Whitlock Flint admits that her parents' divorce had a negative effect on her, but says she also had a hard time dealing with her grandmother's death. Kyler admits that she took Kimberly's car to fight some girls, but says while there, the car was shot up.
Start with you.
My daughter, despite the way she looks today, I mean, she looks like a little church girl, you know, very innocent. I'm not used to this look. But,
I'm sorry, I meant to laugh. Where are you all from?
We're from Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay, I was there recently.
Oh, really? Okay, great.
You do look like church. You look like Seventh-day Adventists. They run Huntsville.
Well, she actually grew
Oakwood.
up Seventh-day Adventist.
Huh?
Yeah, she grew up Seventh-day Adventist.
Did you?
Yes.
So did I.
I
You
don't
know
what
that?
happened, but
I did. But I turned my life around. So if you're in trouble, you're going to turn your life around, right? And it's
Amen
all
to
because
that.
you were raised as an Adventist. Go ahead.
yes. You know, a lot of people love her. You know, her father, me.
That's not a lot of people. Those are people who have to love her.
That's two.
Yeah, that's two, and they have to love her. Who else loves her?
Exactly. You know, people at school, they really care for
Okay.
her, you know,
Good.
but really interesting about Kyler, I guess because I went through a divorce, you know, that that changed her behavior a lot. And, you know, she started getting suspended from school and getting into all types of fights and brawls and things of that nature. And it got to the point where we had to really do something to maintain her behavior. We really wanted her to succeed and do well in school, but Kyla had another alternative in mind. You know, her behavior was off the chain. So we sent her to an alternative school to correct her behavior. It only got worse. She started cursing out teachers, especially the principals. Any school official that would try to correct her behavior, she had an issue with it.
Did you send her to counseling or try and get her to go to counseling with you or otherwise? How long?
Maybe off and on for years.
Really?
Yes.
And that didn't help?
Different types of counselors, male counselors, female counselors. It didn't help at all. I think she was really upset with her dad and me for divorcing.
That's natural.
And she felt like she was on our level, you know. And she didn't know how to stand a child's place. And I guess it's because of the way we spoke with her. You know, we, instead of allowing her to be a child, we did allow her to be on our level, and that was our fault. But we loved her. You know, we still love her.
Was she fine prior to the divorce?
Yeah, she was.
All right. So it is very common that young people act out in adolescents, teenagers, when their parents are getting a divorce. And I can't tell you the dynamics. All I can tell you is that it's common. I usually think I know everything, but I don't know everything about that.
Yeah.
So I'm not a know-it-all right now. I wish I could help you. Young lady, what do you have to say for yourself?
Me and my mom's relationship, we don't have a very good mother-daughter relationship. We kind of have like a friend relationship, and it is true that when I was in middle school and like the beginning of my high school years, that I was getting in a lot of trouble, getting kicked out of school, cussing out teachers and things like that. But I also don't think that I think it came from a lot of my parents being divorced and also my grandma dying in the middle of me transferring from middle school to high school. And I started acting out more then because she was very involved with her grandkids going in school. And that also like affected me.
How old were you?
When she died, I think I was 13 or 12. One of those.
Okay. Think that's what she'd have wanted? Or? For you to live the type of life you started living?
No, sir.
So you letting her down, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, I don't know how much you can love her and her memories that much if you're letting her down so much.
Yeah.
All right, well, you give that some thought, all right? Because she sounds very special to you, and I'm sure she was. So don't disappoint her. And did you finish high school?
Yes, sir. I graduate this year, May 25th.
Good. Are you going to go further?
Yes, sir. I'm going to major in biology and pre-dentistry, and I'm going to Miles College in Birmingham, Alabama.
Which college?
Miles College in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay, I'm familiar with Miles. That's a historically black college. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell me why you're suing her today.
I am suing Kyla today because after she left the alternative school and she went to a boot camp to correct her behavior for 9 months. After she came back, I was like, okay, Kyla, her attitude has really improved. You know, she knows how to respect her parents, the older individuals in her life. She's doing really good. I'm going to allow her to drive my vehicle. And I did. On that fateful night that I let her drive my vehicle, she decided that she was going to support her cousin by going with her to fight another female. And the girl's family retaliated on Kyla and they shut up my vehicle. And I'm not exactly sure if Kyla was in the car or not, but I know there are 4 bullet holes around my car on the driver's side. When she bursted in the house that evening, she said, okay, mommy, the car got shot up. I was at a gas station.
Let me hear from you, ma'am, young lady.
Okay,
Tell
so June 19th of 2017, I was sitting at my sister's house and I was actually asleep on her couch and my cousin called me.
Oh, you starting out with a lie. But
no, I was asleep.
Sleep on the couch. I mean, I didn't know what happened. I was asleep.
I was asleep at my sister's house. And my cousin called me and she was about to get to fighting. So I got in my mom's car and I met my cousin down the street from my house where the girl stayed at. And we all got out the car. It was like 6 or 7 cars and we were standing in the middle of the road. And the girls wouldn't come off the porch. So another car pulled up. It was grown men. We didn't know who they were. And they were like, if y'all don't get off our property, we're going to start shooting. So we yelling and cussing, and they got to their car and they started shooting. And I dropped my mom's phone, my mom's keys and my phone, and I just took off running.
Why'd you go there?
Because my cousin called me and she wanted me to go to fight with her.
All right. So you went looking for trouble with an intent to fight. You took the extra step by getting out of the car, standing in the middle of the road. So, do you think you did anything wrong?
Yes, by driving her car.
To do wrong. Driving her car to fight. If you was driving her car to the Dairy Queen or the McDonald's, it might not have been bad. You drove her car with the intention of engaging in violence. Did she have that discussion? She didn't tell you those facts?
No, this is the actual first time that I'm hearing that. What she gave me, the version was, it was shot up at a gas station because there was some car in an accident or whatever, and my car just happened to be sitting there. She actually came home and showed me footage. She showed me the actual footage of the incident that took place. And I said, oh my gosh, this girl has been involved in 4 to 5 different car accidents and she keeps getting saved. So I'm like, I just couldn't believe her story. I didn't believe it, but then again, I didn't have any proof not to believe her story.
She's gotten in 4 or 5 accidents.
Yes. Yeah, she had her left clavicle broken. I mean, yeah. She
car
had plates.
accident?
Yeah, she had plates put in her left clavicle, and then she had another operation that had them taken out. She was in another incident where the car spun out of control, and it was a head-on collision. Wow. Then she was another car accident where she was rushed to the emergency room. Her face was all damaged.
Recovered fully from all of them?
Yes, yes.
So that's what you meant by troubled and in trouble. Oh, that's not troubled and in trouble. She just can't drive. That's all. Nothing to do with trouble. What is it about your driving?
It's not me driving all the time.
All right, young lady. You seem like you have so much potential. I know you do. And you're going to need to go to college because you got to pay your mama this money.
That's
So
right.
you need to go quick and finish quick.
Yes.
Because you have $1,838 that you owe to your mother. Good luck to you. I'm proud of you that you turn your life around and you're about to go to college and you look like a good old Adventist church lady. Good luck to you. Judge before the player.